So I want people to understand something. People can say that, shout out to Raiders 48. People can say that, like, some people may say in the chat that she's doing this for her husband or whoever. But when she first came out and said that she wanted attention of other men besides her husband, that invalidated that argument. She invalidated that argument. So we can't use that argument anymore. If she cared about looking a certain way for her husband, she would have never came out publicly and said what she said. When she said what she said, it invalidated that entire argument that she's just doing that for her husband's attention. Why do you want the attention of other men if you just want the attention of your husband? That doesn't make any sense. Do you think your husband is looking at the same women that other men are looking at? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, it really doesn't. So it can't be that, because then she would have never said that to begin with. Okay? Why do you need your own group of male groupies? Which is basically what she was saying. Now, it isn't just that. It wasn't just about one photo. You got to understand there's been a lot of things happening up until that point and after that has shown that she may want to shed this good girl image, because she has had a good girl image. I mean, she does cooking. She has values. She goes to church, her and Steph. Do we hear about that stuff anymore? Do we hear about that stuff anymore? You know? I don't think we hear about that stuff anymore. You know? Which is fine. But nowadays, a lot of these so-called wives and girlfriends, they don't really care for that image, because I've even heard this. They will say that, well, you know, men are paying attention to the women who are being, you know, hoes, that are being thoughts. They're paying more attention to them. So in order to compete, they start to act like those women. You know? If that wasn't in the back of their mind, why would they say that? Why would they say that most men are attracted to this type of woman? Okay, so are you going to act like that type of woman, dress like that type of woman, if you feel like it's going to give you the same amount of attention? You know? So I also want people to understand this. When it comes to most women of the day, you're going to be viewed in two categories. You can't be in both. You can't be considered a thought, but then be, you know, a good girl. You know, you pretty much going to be categorized two ways by, you know, men who have a lot of options. That's why you have women that choose to be side chicks. And yes, I say choose to be side chicks. I don't want to hear nothing about you didn't know he was married. You didn't know he was in a relationship. That's the type of excuse that is being used. You know, why look at this way, right? Look at the type of women that get married and are married to high profile men, and look at the women who aren't. Look at the women who are single. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, men are wifing up women who have the qualities that a man who's looking for a wife has. You know? Let's well, I don't know if this is a good example. It might be a horrible example. But look at J.R. Smith. Look at the woman he married, and look at the women that he dated. He had dated K. Michelle, but then he ended up leaving her and getting back with his wife. He had a side chick that was an Instagram model. I did a video on that. He stopped dealing with her and went right back to his wife. His wife, They have multiple children together. She's not on Instagram showing her ass. She's highly religious and family oriented, even though that family has disintegrated, you know. And it's just, it's different, you know. But the thing is, though, I have nothing against Ayesha whatsoever. Nothing. To me, I still think she's a good person. She seemed like a good mother, a good wife. But what I'm talking about is your image, and your image is everything. Your image is everything. When you're high profile and you're constantly being watched, and then you're telling people, you told people that you want to be, more, I don't want to say more appreciated, but you want to be more visible to the masses of men out here. It makes people look at you differently. It does. It makes, and I want to say this to the women who are married, who are watching this, who are in the chat room. Because I saw this and I've seen various people use this excuse that she's trying to look good for her husband. When you step outside, or when you are around, or you're going to be around men, and you want to look good because you're going to, let's say you're going to a outing or an event, you're going out in public, and you're going to be around women who are going to look their best. It's going to be men around. You mean to tell me that you're going to dress down? You're not going to try to compete looks wise with those other women? That you only do that for your husband? Or do you make changes, And I'm talking to the women that got a man. I mean, are you just looking a certain way just for the guy that you're with? Or do you at some point want to feel like you still got it? Because let's be real. Just look at Neo, right? Look at Neo's now ex-wife. Because I got tagged to a video on Instagram the other day. Neo's now ex-wife, before they even went public about a breakup. Now, there was rumors they broke up. Neo confirmed it yesterday. She's in a video with the dude from Black Ink Crew Chicago, I believe. Like, the dude looked like he did not want to be seen with her. You know why? Because they were probably already smashing, or she wants to let him smash. And this is before any divorce papers have been signed. She's out there trying to attach herself to this dude. How you ain't signed not one divorce paper? You ain't even went public yourself about separating, and you're already trying to get booed up with a guy who is with everybody. This dude is with every female that come out of a relationship. He with them. It's almost like he's the standby guy. Like, once they single, that's the guy they go for. He's that guy. So I want people to really understand that, yes, once you get married, you have to understand it's long term, and you should focus on making the person that you're with happy. But in Ayesha's case, I think it's different than that. I think that, before she had those kids, maybe she did feel good about herself after she had them, and then she realized that, you have all these kids, you with this guy, and guys aren't really approaching you. I don't think it's because she's not attractive. I think it's because a lot of guys respect Steph. Hold on a second, y'all. Now I'm back. Did you miss me? But as I was saying, if you are a married woman, okay, you're attached, you don't need the validation of other men. I'm sorry. Yes, I put people on hold live. Yes, I do. That's something you got to get used to. It's something you got to get used to. Doesn't happen a lot. But when it happens, you got to go. Now, again, I'm going to say this again. I don't have any issues with Ayesha, her wanting to look good for the guy she's with. Okay. But when you've had a certain image and a certain brand, and then you veer from that, and then when you said what you said, then people are going to tie two and two together. What's good, D? Now, I know people are going to disagree with me, and that's what the phone lines are for. That's what the thumbs up or thumbs down ratio is for, you know? It's for you to be able to say, you know, I disagree with what you're saying, which is totally fine. But I'm just letting you know how I feel. Just letting you know how I feel in this particular situation, you know?